Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are completely demystifying LangChain agents and proving that, yes, building your own agentic workflow is totally straightforward. If you've been following the massive buzz around agentic AI but just haven't peeked under the hood yet, well, you are in the exact right place. Let's build one from zero.
Even if you follow AI news every single day, it's incredibly common to feel a bit intimidated by the dense jargon and complex coding paradigms surrounding this stuff. You might look at these advanced workflows and think, man, I need a PhD in computer science to even comprehend this architecture.
But the answer to that is a resounding yes. You absolutely can understand this. Our secret weapon today is anchoring all that complex code to a highly relatable metaphor. Think of it as simply building a smart, autonomous robot. Whenever the Python terminology gets a bit murky, we're just going to fall back on this exact mental image to keep the whole architecture perfectly grounded.
Section 1. Anatomy of an agent. Let's deconstruct our robot friend.
Okay, so our system boils down to exactly three fundamental components. First up, we have the brain, which is responsible for the actual reasoning and processing. Second, we have a toolbox. These are the actual tools that perform specific, tangible tasks. And finally, the agent itself. You can think of the agent as the manager or the orchestration engine. It connects the brain to the toolbox and makes the crucial decisions about exactly when a specific tool is needed.
Zooming in on that brain, we are utilizing a large language model. For our specific build today, the source material highlights the Llama 3.2 model, running entirely locally on our own machine through a system called Ollama. And that's actually huge, because it means your agent's brain is completely private and running right in front of you.
Section 2. Speaking the code. Translating our metaphors right into Python. This is practically our cheat sheet. It maps our conceptual anatomy directly to LangChain code, completely demystifying the programming. Creating that brain, we just use ChatOllama. Building the manager robot, we call create agent. We have a standard Python function called calculator that does the math, and we package it up simply using tools equals calculator. It is just a perfect one-to-one mapping.
Now, the absolute crucial key to all this code is the @tool decorator. Literally, without this tiny label placed directly above our Python code, our calculator function is completely invisible to the manager. The brain has zero idea it exists. But by simply adding that @tool decorator, you flip the switch. The system instantly recognizes it and goes, aha, I can actually use this ability. Section 3. The robot in action. Let's look at end-to-end execution.
To get things moving, we kick off the execution flow by using a command called agent.invoke. Simply put, this is our way of telling the system to wake up and start working on the conversation. You're basically pressing the Go button on your AI agent.
Once you hit that Go button, the message flow is just fascinating to trace step by step. First, the LLM, the brain, reads our complex math question. And here's the real magic of agentic AI. In step 2, the brain realizes it's just a language model and can't reliably do complex math on its own. So it independently decides, hey, I need to call the calculator. Step 3, the calculator tool actually executes the math. And finally, in step 4, the LLM takes that result and writes out the final answer for us.
When step 3 successfully executes that tool call, it returns the raw data back to the manager. In this case, 15 times 14 plus 10, it just spits out the raw number, 220.
But, a raw number isn't exactly a friendly response from a smart, autonomous assistant. So finally, using a bit of code called response messages, -1.content, which actually just means grabbing the very last message of the conversation, the LLM formats that raw data into natural language. So the user gets a perfectly conversational answer. The result of the calculation is 220.
Section 4. Your next AI agent. Expanding the toolbox. Because the true power of agentic AI, it entirely lies in what you decide to put in that toolbox next. Just imagine expanding it by writing new Python functions, labeling them with that magical @tool decorator, and giving your system brand new abilities. You could give it a tool to check real-time weather APIs, a tool to search the live internet for up-to-date information, or even a tool to securely query your own private business databases.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought for today's explainer. We gave our system a simple calculator today just to prove the concept. But armed with this knowledge, what powerful real-world tools will you build into your AI brain tomorrow? The possibilities are literally endless. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and happy building.